Good afternoon to you. Well, the tragic story of the teenager Neo Mahlangu has gripped the nation. The 16-year-old boy's body was exhumed at his aunt's house in Tsakane. Yesterday, the aunt herself appeared in court. She abandoned her bail application. It's alleged that she beat him to death and coerced her own son to hold him down while she did that. Tshegohaco Moagi was there again today. Tsakane, she joins us now. Tshegohaco, good afternoon to you. It's just the most difficult, the most horrible story to actually look at. What details do we now know about how and why, and I don't think we're going to know the real why for some time, about why this happened?
Well, Stephen, good afternoon. So what we know at the moment is what we have heard from the NPA and from the police themselves, really, about what has transpired in this matter. So, as you said in your intro, this lady, Andile Mtembu, really just telling her son to hold down her nephew as she beat him to death, and she then put him in a hole. What we understand about this hole was that she requested some of the men around the area to actually dig this hole because she wanted to put a JoJo tank in that hole. But it was quite a deep hole, and when she dug it, she obviously planned to then hide the body. We understand that the killing happened on the 22nd of March. The 26th of March, she reported him missing. We heard from the family yesterday that he often did go to her house because it is family and you want to spend some time with other relatives when schools close. So he went there to go spend some time with her, but even the family have said to us that they are quite shocked at how this has happened, and they are still trying to understand why this has happened. They themselves have said that it is so shocking for them that they can't understand why this has now happened when this boy was so used to going to Andile's house. So it really is a question of why do it in the first place and why bring in this 14-year-old boy, because the trauma, you can just imagine that he himself must currently be facing around holding down somebody and watching a person die right in your hands and in your backyard.
I mean, cousins who are that close in age, 16 and 14, are often very, very close. And now you've got the 14-year-old, this poor child, his mother is ordering him to hold down his cousin, who I'm sure he was close to, while she beats him to death. I can't imagine.
It's very gruesome, Stephen. It's a very gruesome thing to even think about. I mean, there are some videos that have circulated on social media where you see the actual thing happen. You see this young boy holding this 16-year-old down as she, Andile, then tells the 16-year-old Neo Mahlangu to pray for him to ask God to stop him from using drugs. So we understand that he had gone there because the family had said that, he started being naughty, he started smoking drugs or smoking in general, and she then said, no, bring him to me and I will make him a better person. So they don't understand how between the conversation that they had that she will look after him and ensure that he does not take any drugs or does not smoke at all. Between that conversation and her killing him, they're trying to understand what exactly happened. But I mean, this video that is really just circulating, it shows how this young boy, this 14-year-old, is holding down his cousin, and as she is beating him and telling him to be praying so that God can forgive him for using drugs. So, I mean, can just imagine the mindset of this young 14-year-old at this point. We saw very little of him yesterday when we were at the house because he'd keep peeping through the window. So we saw very little of him, but you can just imagine the mindset. And this is something that some of the organizations and foundations in the area have also called for, that he needs to get some kind of psychological help. They've also said that the Department of Social Development needs to come into that family and assist this 14-year-old, just that he does not hold on to this and think that it is completely his fault, what has taken place. But the Department of Social Development, I had a conversation with them earlier today, and they have said that they will wait either for the court to order the next step when it comes to what should happen to this 14-year-old, because in essence, he's actually he's an extra, to a murder. He's taken part in a murder. So they will wait for the court to decide what the way forward should be for this 14-year-old. But besides that, they're saying that if they do not hear anything from the magistrate as to what this boy should he go into some juvenile kind of detention or what should happen to him, if they don't hear anything, then they themselves, as the Department of Social Development, will make a way to communicate with the family and to find a way to assist him.
There's a Children's Act that's supposed to govern all of this. The magistrate should be aware of that, should have made a ruling yesterday, I would imagine. I'm no expert on these things. So much you've told us, and yet still so many questions. Tshegohaco Moagi, thank you very much indeed. I think perhaps just another reminder, if I may say, of the damage that drugs does to our families and very much to our society.